Another game, another you, another me. Another Nullra playing as Poseidon, really showing off his multi-god talent, as he has been telling everyone that he is amazing. He only plays Poseidon on this count, basically. I'm just kidding. He's a Poseidon fanatic, and we'll see how he's going to go. Poseidon was buffed in the recent patch, so he's going to be doing very, very well here. I imagine, very, very strong god, and we'll see how it's all going to go. Recon, his opponent today, however, in the red color, and he's going to be going with Oranos. Oranos. What a time to be alive here. This is Blue Lagoon. An interesting map. We'll see which way Recon's going to take this. Now, I know what Kavoth would do here. You know, Kavoth's going to go for the immediate second town center. He's going to put the sky passages down on this position and over here. And he's going to be able to teleport, saving the walking time of many, many different villages. And get that town center up. Whichever one that he thinks is the best, so to speak. This one's got some nice zebra on it. It's got a back gold mine. But Recon, I mean, he's a different player. He plays the game differently to pretty much everyone. He has his own style, and he has his success built into that style. So we'll have to obviously wait and see what his decision is going to be. But let's check out the relics while we're waiting for that. We've got the Ring of Nibelung, a little bit of gold trickle. Over on this side, we've got that Tearfing Angantir's sword. Going to be boosting up the hero's lifesteal. Kopesh of Horrors over here, boosting up hero damage. A little bit of synergy with those relics there. And Gungnir Odin Spear. Very, very nice. This is... does this one actually affect... Okay, it goes on to catapulties. Okay. Black Potsy, what's happening, my dude? All right, so we've got Hermes coming through. And I guess the question is, which way does Nullra actually want to take this game? Now, the way that I see this thus far is that Oranos, if you go one town center here against Oranos, the chances of you actually getting damage done are fairly limited. Now, there is probably a world where going maybe one stable into a second town center is a decent choice. Reason being, you can make the Centaur, Atalanta, and a couple of Hippias to roam around the map with potentially a Pegasus as well. Kotoskopos, scout out where these oracles are and just try and snipe them. That could be a really nice way to kick the game off, get yourself a little bit of an advantage. But, you know, you can't really go very all-in against Oranos because he's going to have catapulties. He's going to be able to get the boom off with the second town center. It looks like Recon is not going for it, though. He's got 4 villages on food, 2 on wood, 2 on gold. I see a couple of red dots, which are goats over here coming back, but he hasn't really gone for any sort of early sky passage shenanigans. As the Centaur coming through. Yeah, the best way to actually use this Centaur early game is to use the special attack on Caladriel. That is the best way. There is not really a better way to go about it. And we do indeed see a stable coming down here for Nullra. The reason why the Centaur is good against, that special attack is good against the Caladriel is because it can't miss. So it's a really good way to start off. Get like 15, 16 pierce damage off onto the Caladriel. Get it close to dying. Next one comes in, use it again, etc., etc. And hopefully before the second Caladriel comes out, you can kill it. But a player like Recon, he is very quick on his feet. He's going to be getting that second Caladriel through and be enjoying it. There's the mana coming up for Recon. Dodging! Dodge, dive, dip, dodge, and die. Not dive, because he will dive into the ground, I guess. Nice snipe there for Nullra. As the Oracle numbers of Recon have definitely shrunk here. He's got 2 left. Gets a hero 1. Putting in that Gungnir on this Gungnir Odin Spear. Boosting up his catapulties, which are already really, really strong. But they're going to be even more powerful now. And it looks to me like Nullra's plan is to just drop a town center now. Which one is he going to go for? over onto this position, over onto this position. He does have an Oracle checking that out over there. And the villagers will move up. He might actually need to drop ceasefire here. As the Atalanta... Wait. Hang on, what? What did... Never mind, that's Ring of Nibelung. I'm silly. I saw Gungnir Odin's Spear, and I thought Recon put it in, but he got the Ring of Nibelung. As the Catapultis coming through, getting some damage. Hippias making a lot of heat here as the Carnivora comes in, and Nullra has to drop ceasefire. Now, this will be a completed settlement, but ceasefire down means no ceasefire for potentially a chaos or some sort of bad position later. This is good for Recon. But Recon hasn't started a town center yet. So he has to decide at this point, is he going to go for a huge sort of damage play here, looking for damage before he gets his town center up? Or is he going to, I don't know, get his own 2 town centers, like go 3 town centers here? We'll have to wait and see what his decision is going to be, as the Carnivora will get picked off. The village is going to move over here and eat an elephant. And Recon... He's got very few villagers on wood at the moment. So it looks, he's got all the gold he needs for a town center. So it looks like he's not actually going for it. Otherwise, I imagine he would pull the villagers off of gold, put it over to the wood, and just try and shoot this up as fast as possible. Military Academy, double Military Academy coming up. Making a lot of sense to deal with those Catapultis. In general, against Atlantean, you really don't want to build Toxotes. Nice little find on the villager there, sniping that one down. So making hoplites against the Catapultis makes the most sense. So the reason why you don't want to build Toxotes is in the classical age, Terma reigns supreme. So you don't want to give your opponent any reason to build Terma effectively. So stay away from the archers, go into hoplites, go into Hippias, live the dream. Now, if you just build hoplites, you're probably going to get some pain coming your way from mass Terma. But at this point, an armory coming down as Recon is deciding to go the tech route here, which is very, very interesting. We'll see how it's going to go. Let's find himself a Oracle. Not going to be able to pick that one off. He could try and take out the mana, but this does run the risk of the Caladrias coming back and snaring those units up and then actually sniping them down, as now Nullra says, excuse me, it is walling time. I love my walls. I will live and die by my walls, as he gets up a whole bunch in the center of the map. Putting them up at this point in the game is a significant investment, but it will help keep his villagers alive, which are getting picked off very, very quickly here, as Recon is all over it. Recon is now clicked up through Hyperion. Counter barracks, more counter barracks coming through, as Recon is saying, well, if you're not going to build any infantry units at the moment, I'm just going to keep building Catapultis until you start, as the hoplites are now coming through. And I wouldn't be surprised to see Recon getting himself some military barracks down, going into those more premium units like the Contarius, like the Arcus, like the Murmillo fairly shortly. He's still just heroizing. He's getting himself Empyrean speed as well to boost the speed of those Catapultis up. He's going to look for some villager kills over here as well. As the Catapultis simply just retreating back. And he will be able to turn around and just snipe those Hippias down if he really wants to. And some very difficult micro to actually do here to get the Catapultis and the Caladria to snipe units, heal, etc. But Shockwave to disengage. Citizen on the front building a sky passage is a little bit dangerous here. Will Nullra spot it or not is the question. Oh, as sneaky can be. Inches, literal inches. Absolutely insane. But Heroic Age is in. Villager differential is starting to get out of control. Heroic Age is going to be queued up fairly shortly here. Recon needs to get some damage done. Now, where can he get damage done? Well, there's villagers over here. there's going to be gold mine on this spot. If you can use this sky passage to teleport around onto the back here, that's going to be huge. Sniping down a couple of Hippias here, still not wanting to lose too many units as the Galadriel actually can just hide on top of this little pond, get that value in. It's the Atalanta getting denied access to the A tier. Oh, villager going down. Nope. Gets out of there. Do see a cheeky little sky passage on this position as well, as Recon now going to be able to get himself a little bit of food over here, but the walls still coming up for Nullra. He hasn't quite defended this position just yet, so it's going to be another way in. Also have to remember, wait, did he get himself? No, he didn't. Did Nullra get that one? He did, okay. So Tearfing, imagine Tearfing hanging this sword with Catapultis dealing huge damage to Hippias. As the archery rangers coming down onto this position over here. Villagers moving up onto the gold mine. Winged Messenger now coming through for Nullra. He's like, all right, better get some scouting. I got to know what's happening. It's still one town center. Finally, Recon decides, all right, better get that second town center in. I feel like he's done the damage. I feel like he has gotten value out of having these units out and getting even more villager kills here. This town center makes a lot of sense at this point. The other option would have been to go Mythic Age here, but that seems to be very much out of reach now for Recon, so he has to go for the town center. And Galadriel retreating back. Centaur going to be getting taken out onto this spot here. Foxotes doing some good damage as well. Getting that Galadriel. Galadriel is so good. These catapults, I don't think Recon's lost a single, maybe I'm wrong, I don't think Recon's lost a single unit thus far. Oh. Recon's lost a single unit. I spoke too soon. Caster's curse at the moment. Caster's curse. What can you do? Wall gets broken down over here. Villagers coming onto this, but we see some Caro Ballistic coming through. Now, this is an interesting unit. It was buffed. Now, to what extent it's been buffed, I can't really say, but it's supposed to be more consistent. It's supposed to be more consistent. The first Oracle has also died. True. True. Little fire started. It's kind of funny. Is Recon going to be retreating back? See a couple more Catapultis sneaking down to the back. There are some villagers back here. And Recon, does he see it? He does find it. A huge amount of villagers here. This is a big find for Recon. He's probably regretting not sending more army in. One villager going down. Curse needs to be dropped. Now, Nullra just going to grab those pigs and eat them, but the units can now move back down there if he really wants to. Villager differential is now equal after all is said and done. As the army pushing forward. Cheeky little villager to come forward here as well. Let's get that wall up on this position. Pegasus going down. And now the lull before the storm about to commence. Is Recon going to go for the Mythic Age? He's getting up a palace. Mythic Age makes a lot of sense here. A Hecate at this point, with the Tartarian Gate in the main base of Nullra, will be very, very strong. He's opting to get some upgrades in though, more Catapultis, so he's just going to look for some more pressure. Still looking for raids all over the place. But Nullra is effectively completely walled in. Very few spaces to get into this base at the moment. Now Artemis getting pre-queued here for Nullra as he's going to be advancing. Santa on the run. What is he's found Kopej of Horrors. Is he going to be able to get it? Oh, Palace. Palace. A little bit more damage. 48. Oh, wait. Hello? Recon? You put all this effort into killing. Up. Theseus coming in. Too slow. Too slow. There's a Paspis hanging out onto this spot. Sky Passage. Back into the main position. He can drop that relic in whenever he wants. With Artemis on the way, this thing is going to do a lot of damage to Recon here. And we'll see how he's going to be able to react to it. Town Center coming up for Recon as well. And those Caraballas, just a little bit of poke. Recon he's so good at just finding like really small weaknesses and just saying, hey, I'll just get a little bit of damage done here. Hecate now queued up. Now, unfortunately for Recon, he doesn't have access to Prometheans here. He doesn't have access to Dryads here. Those are the two units that I think synergize the best with Hecate. If you're going to go Prometheus and you go Thea, you go Hecate, you can make Promethean Dryad in the late game. Now, if you go for Oceanus, you're more going for that human army. If you're going for Hyperion, you're actually going for more heroes. So, Mermillo, Catapulti heroes with the heroic renewal technology. So, Hecate doesn't have that synergy. But you're still going to have Lampedes. You're still going to be able to enjoy some of those upgrades. And if you do go for the Titan, you've also got those bonuses that come in as you see the Chaos coming down. And Nullra wants nothing to do with that. He's got the Earthquake, holding on to that. Town Center coming up over here as the walls have been denied. Probably will be able to finish this if Nullra decides to walk over there immediately. He's probably not going to be able to deny it. And now we see the trade route started up. Recon pulling back. Nice little bit of special damage coming through from the Chimera on this position. Earthquake getting dropped down. Not going to be hitting any of these units really here, but the Palace goes down. Some mana's going down over here as well. Can Recon hold here is the big question. Two Satyr on the back getting some good damage done, but they eventually do end up going down. Recon's army here effectively makes no sense against the infantry Peltas army. So Catapulti's counter cavalry here. So I imagine that Recon is going to need to shift gears and get a whole bunch of barracks down. He still doesn't have a single barracks at the moment. As the Palace going to get finished off, we see the Tartarian Gate dropping into the main base, but he drops it on a building here as Polyphemus also coming through 1,015 HP of pure building destruction to come in as those Tartarian spawns. They're not going to do a whole lot, and Nullra is going to be able to react to that very, very quickly, very, very efficiently. The wall over here going to get sniped down as the town center is up. Now, for those of you playing against a player who likes to get these walls down nice and early and you get frustrated playing against it, one way to sort of deal with this is to get a villager to move. It's like whenever you pick off a wall that your opponent has set up, just get a villager in and build yourself that perpendicular wall in the middle, and that's going to be enough to prevent them from just sending a villager back in and then re-walling it. It's really, really important because I understand. I know players are going to get frustrated against playing this. You've got to be aware of that trick. Otherwise, they're just going to keep getting the walls back up, and you're going to feel like you're going to get you're going to make no progress in the game breaking down these walls. So whenever you pick them off, go and either claim the space for yourself with your own wall or perpendicular wall in the middle to just lock that off and make your opponent need to get in and delete your wall to rebuild it. So they actually have to put some effort in to claiming that space, so to speak. This champion infantry now coming through as Nullra slowly going to push in and try and take out the palace here. Meanwhile, it is a 4 versus 2 town center advantage. It's 100 military versus 100, however, at the moment. And Recon is continuing to build catapults. Another Chaos to get dropped down. You can see that there's only 3 Oracles for Recon at the moment. He could definitely do with a few more. He's got so many resources in the bank at the moment as the Terma trying to get back out of range of those Peltas. The Peltas are very, very good at dealing with them. And now Recon finally going to get some Miller. He still doesn't have himself Bite of the Shark, but he will be able to pump those units out very, very quickly. But this is sort of the timing here which Nullra needs. He needs this timing. He's got a slight military advantage. He's lost his Polyphemus. He doesn't have that building, pushing potential here. As you can tell that Recon is trying to transition into the premium military barracks units, but he knows he needs to have units out, so building out some of these quote-unquote trash Terma is keeping him alive a little bit more than you might think. Now, the Terma are also, they were slightly buffed and slightly nerfed at the same time. The buff was more of a buff into actual fights, and the nerf was a nerf into sort of kind of the shoot and scoot style of Terma that we were seeing. So it's got one more range now. So at the moment, 15 range. We'll go up to 16 range when it hits champion range soldiers, which is going to be more than enough to take out those Toxotes. And arguably, the Terma are actually decent when close to the Peltas at dealing with those. So can be a way to go. Carnivore getting dropped down. Palace attempting to get held here as the Petropolis for Nullra pushing through. We haven't seen any sort of shenanigans up onto this spot. Nullra could get a fortress and start sieging this town center down, which probably would be the best use of the Petropolis at this point rather than on the front. But Recon, he's holding nicely. The Polyphemus will be getting taken down. Another position where the Polyphemus would be, not the Polyphemus, the Petropolis would be nice is in here, where this wood line is a little tricky. Wall over here, and targeting down this town center will be really, really good here as well. The repair rate, there's 12 villagers repairing us. What do you expect? these guys should repair this fast, right? These 12 villagers. Nice micro here, as is always from Recon, to snipe down all those back archers. And Recon's army is looking really nice. I think this is going to start becoming more and more standard here. I really like the mix-in of a handful of Terma in the late game. I think Terma might actually, like, you know, you're never going to build like 20 Terma, right? But I think having a handful, enough that the Terma, your opponent doesn't really want to overcommit on sort of Peltas, but you're going to be able to clean up some of those really, really oppressive Plague of Shaft archers. It might make a lot of sense rather than going in with a whole bunch of Contarios, which are going to get countered heavily by the hoplites. So too do Terma get countered by hoplites. Nonetheless, maybe I spoke too soon, as Recon is now deciding no more, well, he's still building some Terma, but no more Terma. He's going to be transitioning slowly into those Contarios. He's already teched into champion archers. It takes a while to get the tech out for those Contarios. So he is continuing down that path. As Nullra pushing up onto this position, we see some more towers actually coming down. Again, I know towers were buffed, but let's just quickly just take a look at the damage. 31.3 versus 11. So our palace is almost 3x the damage. I know it's probably about 3x the cost as well, but palaces are... You can produce fanatics out of them. You can produce destroyers out of them. You can produce fire siphons. And they do cost favor as well, mind you, but it makes so much more sense to just make palace. You also don't have to upgrade the towers. After you get all your palaces down, now you can make towers. Is my way of seeing it. As Nullra has found himself a really, really nice choke point with those Peltas here. And Recon is majority Arcist, which the Peltas should be doing fairly well against. Recon actually not able to get to population. He's actually struggling to produce. He's losing a lot of units here. I'd love to see him build like Satyr or Lampede at the moment as well. I mean, he's got enough favor for another Chaos cast onto these bad boys. Meanwhile, over onto this side, Recon just says, all right, a couple of towers. I wouldn't mind seeing him just shank this wall down with those villagers, make them into heroes, and then shank it down, to be honest. But it looks like Recon is actually falling behind in this game. As the power of this remarkably small Greek army is sort of overpowering. There's no fortified town center just yet. Now, Recon is at full villages. He is having quite a bit of trade as well. So he's getting resources. Now he's got resources. What's he going to be building with them? He's waiting for something. Maybe going for the Titan Age. Titan makes a lot of sense here, to be honest. As Nullra trying to push forward with his own fortress on this spot, but losing a lot of villagers to get this up. Now, does he have Divine Blood? Yes, he's got Divine Blood, so the fortress goes up very, very quickly here. You see the Carnivora getting panic placed down, it seems. And the villagers will be able to sneak through onto this spot. Nullra is out of gold. Mine. He's got 31 trade caravans working at the moment, though. But he is struggling for resources. He's struggling for population. He's trying to make this push work, but it's just not happening. Meanwhile, now, there we go with the Petropolis. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is a really, really nice play. Pushing in to try and take this spot out. Recon a little bit too slow to protect that one there. But now Recon's up to full population. He can get himself a Fire Siphon out here if he wants. Destroyers are probably the best idea against Poseidon, because you kill off a building with the Fire Siphon and all of a sudden the militia come out. Wait, hello? Oh, there we go. Okay. Fortified Town Center will be going down on that spot. But Recon's already up to full population, so he will be able to make a big push here. But just because the town center is down does not mean that Nullra is going to have access to it. There's 2 towers here. The villagers are in as well. The Petropolis have to leave, so he can kind of throw that back up if he really wants to. And you have to leave the Petropolis on this spot, just sitting, waiting, watching. But Nullra in the main base for the time being. Another Chaos getting dropped down onto those Peltas by Recon to just put even more pressure on. You can see there's a really nice position for the army to come through here. I don't think Recon's going to know about it. He does see the trade route. If he can just move his army right here, he's going to be able to stop the gold income and end this game right here, right now. As the Petropolis cleaning up the watchtowers over here. Recon trying to make himself Destroyer Arcus work. Destroyer Arcus in Legacy was like one of the kind of stock standard compositions for Atlantean, but it's a little bit harder to produce in Retold because there's so much more population that you're going to be able to get the Arcus out no problems, but to get the Destroyer mass out that you need to sort of tank and allow the Arcus to get that damage done, it's quite challenging until you have the palaces. And Recon at the moment, he's going up to 3, so he will be able to get there. But a challenge nonetheless. Couple more towers coming up, Sky Patches to come through as well. As the Nullra, Nemean Lion pushing through. Villagers diving into the palace here, trying to hold on. Sky Passage up to try and maybe sneak back up here and grab that town center. It looks like Nullra is holding for the time being. Population differential is getting very, I wouldn't say it's close. You got 60 to 110, but Nullra's got himself 50 trade caravans here. That's going to be huge as the Nemean Lions charging forward to get a little bit of stunnage in, but nice micro from Nullra with the Peltas to take down all of those Arcus on the back. I guess that's another thing that happened in Retold, which is why maybe this Destroyer composition is less effective. More so not getting them out, but the fact that the Peltas are actually Peltas and, for the most part, anti-archer, like Slinger, Peltas, Terma, you can just shift click with them and there's no real problems. It's a really easy way to take the fight, whereas on Legacy it was a little bit more cumbersome. And Nullra gets his town center back. Incredibly. I don't even know where the villagers were. He just gets it. How many did he send? He's got 13 in here. The destroyer is going to move up here and say, no, not today. Let me just bash those down. As military academies coming through here for Nullra. Nullra is now up to 205 population. Does he have fortified town centers? He's grabbing it now. And the hero's up onto this spot as well to defend. Villagers getting sniped down is going to be really, really big here. But those destroyers, they need to take the town center out. Do we see some Hippasmus? Yes, we do. Arca's going to be getting cleaned up nice and quickly as well. And all of a sudden, Recon's grip on this game seems to be slipping ever so slightly. He's going to have all of the armory upgrades. Doesn't have all of his economic upgrades just yet, which is a big, big problem for him. Nullra, on the other hand, he's fully upgraded. Polyphemus taken out. We've got the Petropolis coming through here to snipe down the palace. But the town center does fall. And Recon, I mean, he knows how important this is. He needs some sort of a population advantage. But with the Sky Patches, he's able to do it. Now, one thing that he can do after he grabs this town center back that I want to see is break through this wall, push through this way, hit this corner. That's the big advantage of playing Oranos in the late game, is Sky Passages. It's just like you've literally got underworlds all over the map, so you may as well just be popping in there. So the destroyer is going to be able to clean up the buildings and clean up everything else, and he's going to just set 16 destroyers through here. That's a lot of walls here, Mr. Nullra. I don't think it's going to be enough to stop the destroyers breaking through, as he will take them down very, very quickly. And meanwhile, we see Petropolis down onto the other side of the map now, as that's very, very smart. But the destroyers, they make it through. Send a citizen in for the Sky Passage or something. The wall's back up. And this is what I'm talking about. If you don't get in and draw that other wall, it can be very tough to actually make these sort of pressure moves work. Oh, wow. The armor upgrades are really not close to being in for Nullra. Once they get in, this Greek army is going to get even more scary, but the markets are all going to go down. Nullra does have another market on this map. A little bit unfortunately placed on the corner, but it's better than it getting completely shut down. So I love that decision there, but all the army needs to move over here for the time being. The town center is back up, and all of a sudden, a Sky Passage on this position means the army is going to be able to come through here and defend this town center. You see the destroyers going after the main town center now as well. How many palaces does Recon have? He's only got 4, but this is enough, it seems, to get all of these out. He's also got the levy upgrade to get conscripts as well to get those destroyers out even faster, as the main town center now going to go down. Oh, just barely keeping it alive with the ceasefire. But Recon's not done. He says, I'm doing everything and more, as the Titan is now on the way. We see the Titan gate right out the back. Now, this is the thing, right? Your opponent doesn't get to know where this Titan spawns. You don't see it. It's here, but I know where it is. You know where it is, but Nullra doesn't. The question really is it better or is it worth it? As we see the shockwave being used here, the destroyer is going to get some good damage done. And that's going to be a dead town center, it looks like, with that amount of destroyer. But anyways, to finish my point, is it better to sneak a kind of forward Titan gate off onto the side of the map so that you can rush over and potentially deny an opponent's Titan gate? Or is it better to go for the safe one and guarantee that it gets up? The villager's going to put this one back up. We see the Petropolis are back in onto this position, taking down the palace here. A couple of units to push through as well. Polyphemus. Man, he is going... Is he going to be able to kill off the town center? I don't think he's enough. Nullra is playing this late game incredibly well. Towers up onto this side as well. There's the army moving forward. And now the destroyers can come in and break down these walls. And the town center going to be going down a little bit. We see a cheeky little chimera to push through here. That's going to go down very quickly. No heroes, but it's so many units that one chimera is just not going to be that good. Meanwhile, the town center for Recon, he has left it. Nullra's sort of multitasking in a way, but like multiple front, just continuously getting that pressure. And look at all these walls. The answer to this is Titan, right? You can just walk in and just clean this up with a Titan. Just walk over it. Also, fire siphons. The destroyer doesn't have that wall killing ability, like splash damage or whatever. A fire siphon does. So that's one way to break through. Man, so many walls. So many walls. Say what again? What am I saying again? I don't even know what I said. About the fire siphon to break through this thing? A couple of citizens to come in and drop a palace down. I want to see a big wall getting drawn here. Straight through this thing. Put it down. Destroyers are... No, what I'm saying is you can get a fire siphon to blow the walls up, and it's going to break not just this wall, but also the wall behind it, because it has an explosive thing attached to it or something. So you can kill off even more stuff with actual siege rather than destroyer. Obviously, you can break through the walls with the destroyers, but it's just less. In other words, the chemo wall is less effective. There is counterplay to the chemo wall in retail, and the chemo wall on display just here. For those of you who are new to this thing. The destroyer's back at it again to take the main town center down. Recon has lost this town center over here, but the Titan gate is everything, it seems, for him. I mean, he knows if he gets the Titan out and he uses it well, he can definitely win this game. You have to use it well, though. You can't just sort of misplay with it. Just because you get the Titan out doesn't mean you win the game. You still have to make good decisions. But Nullra, at the moment, losing his market, the trade route, he has to retask it. The donkey caravan is going to be moving back over there. We see some citizens moving forward in an attempt to grab the town center over here. Palace up for Recon. Still not seeing those fire siphons just yet. The Titan is now out, and of course he does. He's going to just ignore how epic all of that effort into that animation, and Recon just says, "No, I don't want it." As the footsteps, the fiery footsteps of this Titan. Actually, if you don't mind right now, I'm going to take this opportunity to just we're just gonna quickly I'm gonna get good at this. I promise. We're just gonna go like this. We're gonna go like this, and then we're gonna go like this, and yeah, we're gonna capture all of that, and then we're gonna go with the blue sky. That looks no. We're gonna go with the desert. Where's the desert? Yeah, perfect. And then we're just gonna hit the print screen button. And then we're just gonna go out of photo mode, and we're back into the game. I hope you guys don't mind that. I mean, I think it's really, really sick. I'm in love with this photo mode. I didn't ask for it, and they made it, and I feel like it's made for me because this just looks amazing. As the Titan charges forward, you can just come in and kill off this army. I think there's going to be... I don't know how long it's going to last for, but I feel like there's going to be some legacy bias in how to use the Titan for quite some way. The Titan is not a... Never mind. It's fine. Nullra says it's game over. The town center's back up over here. He's given up. But I think, to finish my point, I think that the Titan should be used with your army now. It is an army killing machine. So if you get your army with a Titan, all of a sudden, your opponent, they can't kill your Titan. It's really, really strong. It's really, really tough to kill. So, but if it's by itself, all of a sudden, you can just send some heroes in and you can kill it off. Nonetheless, Recon manages to survive here against some incredibly difficult to kill Poseidon play from Nullra. He takes the 4 town centers early. He's got that economic advantage for none of the game because he went for the second town center so late. But he's able to get the pressure, control the game, and eventually get the win. Really, really like this play. This was a really nice play, clean from Recon. If you guys enjoyed this one, please consider the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.